Hello, guys. This is Mike Day, your real estate broker and the king of the suburb, Atlanta real estate market. This video message is for my current and future clients. Many always wonder how much they need to budget in order to purchase a home. I will give you one rule of thumb to use as your base calculator. This will help you stay within plan and not have to struggle for funds at the last minute. Now, fundamentally, there are three types of loan. There's FHA loan, conventional loan, and VA loan. I'm not going to get into VA loan because most of the clients I deal with are not veterans. And if you're not a veteran, you don't qualify for VA loan. So I'm going to typically talk about FHA loan and conventional loan. Now, typically, the requirement for FHA loan is 3.5% down. Now, I understand there's some programs out there, unique programs that is neighborhood specific, whatever the case may be, that may reduce the amount of down payment. I'm not going to get into that. This fundamental is going to enable you to do your calculation even when it comes to that. So we're going to go to FHA, 3.5% down. Conventional loan, typically you need 5% down. And of course, there's some conventional loans out there, 3% down, 1% down program. That is true. But for the sake of fundamental understanding of how this process works, your down payment is going to be included with what we call the closing cost. A closing cost can range from 2% to 5%. Typically, 3.5% should cover most of your closing costs, except in some unique situations where there are additional reasons for additional cost. Now, I will go with 3.5%. So you have a down payment on FHA, 3.5%. Closing cost estimate of 3.5%, that is 7%. Whatever house you're buying, assuming you're buying a $500,000 house, 7% times 500,000 gives you 35,000. So your projected cost is 35,000. What does that tell you? You should have in your account or ability to access $35,000 to complete that transaction. Now, in this market, it's a buyer's market. And if you have a broker like me that finds joy and pride in saving you as much money as possible, of course, my goal will be to squeeze that seller and get that seller to agree to contribute towards your closing costs. Hey, I typically tell the seller, hey, my client likes your house, would love to buy, but in order to make it possible, I need you to contribute, let's say 3% or let's say $10,000 for the sake of figures, towards the closing cost. The seller says, hey, I want to sell my house. I would love to sell to your client. I will give that $10,000 towards the closing cost. What has the seller just done? The seller has just saved you $10,000 on your budget. What am I saying here? You're buying a $500,000 house. You have a projected budget of $35,000. On your financial settlement statement, it's showing that your expected funds to close is $35,000. Now, because the seller is contributing $10,000, the settlement statement is also going to show that the seller is giving you $10,000. Your budget of $35,000 minus $10,000 equals $25,000. That means on that settlement statement, it's going to give you a projection that your expected cash to close is $25,000 because the seller has saved you $10,000. This is the fundamentals of calculating how much would you need for a purchase. Now, moving on to conventional loan, 5% down. Of course, you can do 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever the percentage you choose to do down or the system allows you to put down, plus 3.5% in closing costs. And if you choose to use a higher number of 4% in closing costs, add that amount to that down payment, multiply it by the price of the house, that gives you your projected budget. And as usual, like I said, I love to always save you money. As long as I get the seller to contribute towards your cost, that will reduce your expense out of pocket. But one thing you must understand, first you must budget. It's a budget, an estimate of expense. It doesn't mean you always spend it all, but it means you are prepared to spend it should need be or should the need arise. So, I hope this explains the fundamentals to many of you, future home buyers, and my current clients that are going through the home purchase. So you don't have to struggle with how much do you need. Are there instances where it might pass that projected budget? Yeah. Instances where the mortgage company may be charging excessive fees and all that stuff. And of course, if you're my client, I'm going to point them out for you. I'm going to say, hey, go back to the mortgage company, negotiate this, negotiate that, negotiate this to drop those fees. But if they're charging reasonable fees, you should be in that ballpark of no more than 3.5% in down payment. So add your down payment, in closing cost. So add your closing cost of 3.5% with your down payment, be it 3.5, makes 7. If it's conventional, 5% with 3.5% in closing costs make 8.5%. Multiply by the price of the house. That is the budget you should work with. I hope this helps you. I hope you would not have to struggle to figure out how much do I need to plan for in order to purchase that house that I love to buy. However, if you have questions, do not hesitate to contact me. I'll be more than happy to facilitate your dream. I'm a phone call away, email away, social media away. I'm here for you. Other than that, enjoy your day. And of course, Happy New Year in advance.